Hello, we want to welcome everybody to another episode of District 5 in the Know, a collaboration between District 5 community councils, including East Liberty Park Community Organization, Liberty Wells Community Council, Central Ninth Community Council, and Ballpark Community Council. In the Know is a series that focuses on community topics that affect Salt Lake City's District 5 families and neighborhoods at large. My name is Christina Robb, and I currently serve as the chair of East Liberty Park Community Organization. I'm joined by Amy Hawkins, chair of Ballpark Community Council, Jeff Larson, vice chair of East Liberty Park Community Organization, and David Jones, who serves on East Liberty Park's education community and is a board member at large. We are interviewing the candidates for Salt Lake School District Board of Education candidates for Precinct 5. There are two candidates in this election, and we are going to get them to know them both through these interviews. We are interviewing them separate, and this interview is with Mohamed Baayd, who is the current incumbent for Salt Lake City School District Precinct 5, and also resides within the boundaries of East Liberty Park Community Organization. Welcome, Mohamed, and thank you for joining us today.
Thank you so much.
As a note to our viewers, neither candidate received these questions prior to this interview. The format is simple. Mohamed, you will first have up to 3 minutes to introduce yourself. Okay. For the first round of questions, Jeff, David, and Amy will first introduce themselves and then jump right into asking questions. You will have 3 minutes to answer each question. When your time is complete, I will call time. Do you have questions?
No, I'll try to stay within the 3 minutes.
Okay, I'll definitely remind you by calling time. So
Thank you.
Just stop if you hear that.
Sounds great.
So to start off, Mohamed, go ahead and just tell us a little bit about yourself.
As everyone knows, my name is Mohamed Baayd, and I'm the current sitting school board member for Salt Lake City School District Precinct 5, precisely. Who am I? Yes, my name is Mohamed, and I'm originally from Morocco, born in a small rural village in the south of Morocco. And life was very hard. At times where there was famine, where we had to chew on grass to have some saliva. And at times also when seeing my father as a young person, seeing him going to where he's supposed to be because he is an enslaved person. However, my parents have always focused on one thing. They said, son, we are not educated. We do not know how to write nor read, but we beg and ask of you that you never give up on your education. And so I kept moving forward. And then time comes in 1999. I had the opportunity finally to come to the United States. And I will never forget, how painful that was to say goodbye to my parents, to my family, to everyone that I know. And my father at that time took his nice watch and his nice shoes. And he said, son, here is this watch. So you'll always watch where and how you spend your time. And here are these nice shoes. So you will always walk to places that are wise. And that has stuck with me. And here I am in the United States 25 years later. And finally, I was able to earn my bachelor's degree, to be the first in my family. And not only that, go and earn a master's degree, and to be the first in my village and a 50-mile radius. So with that just shows you the importance of education to me. I'm a father of 3 kids, 2 daughters and a little boy. And my wife, my commander-in-chief, she is, so pro education, and so we are. I run for this office for a purpose of being a voice for those voices who have been silenced for so long. And that is why I placed myself. So I had 2 options. Either I could sit back and complain, or I could put myself forward. And the past 4 years has been but an amazing learning experience. Was it rosy? No. Was it, stressful? Absolutely. And so here I'm growing some more gray hairs. And I'm so excited to be here and looking forward to answering any questions you may have for me.
That's time.
All right. Thanks, Mohammed, for being here. As Christina said, my name is Jeff Larson. I'm on the East Liberty Park Community Organization Board. I've lived here in the area for a number of years, and I currently have 3 children who attend Salt Lake School District schools. And I've invested heavily with my time and efforts into their education and then their school experience. And I want to see that continue in the best possible experience and outcomes for them. And so I appreciate you being here and sharing your platform and information with everyone who's interested in this race and wants to make an informed decision. So
thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, with that, question number one, what are the most important takeaways from the 2022 state audit of the district? What are the most pressing issues that it raised? And how would you address the issues in underperforming schools and programming while at the same time cutting the budget and improving cost efficiencies?
Okay. Okay. Well, first of all, I'm so glad that there is some form of audits that take place within our schools. We have an amazing school district, and we are in the heart of the city. And not only that, we are also in the Capitol building. We are also, a black sheep of Utah. So, there is always a certain focus on Salt Lake City School District. Now, in terms of the audit that took place, I'm so glad that it took place, actually. And one of the most important things that they focus on is to avoid any more favoritism or relationship between school board members and district employees. They wanted to clear that, which I personally am so glad that they did that. Why? Because for those 2 years when I was in the office during that 2022, I was able to see such a rough thing. And I'm glad they took care of that. Another one is in terms of like our age building, population ratio to the school buildings we have. And that was a rough one, but I'm glad it happened because that's something that could have happened 20 years ago. But they have actually pointed to us the importance of making sure we consolidate the buildings and not continue to spend taxpayers' money in buildings that have like 150 students or so. Now, that was a very, very hard one. And you did ask a question about what is it that we can do, in terms of making sure that these kids continue to learn and also making sure, we are financially responsible. I always say that children are the shining beacon of this future. And without them, nothing will be going well. Based on what we have going on right now in the world, those kiddos, they deserve the best education possible. Not only that, but also voices who will be there to speak on their behalf, and especially the voices of those who've been silenced, the marginalized community. I cannot explain to you how much of a difference it makes when I walk into a school and you see kids, from all walks of background, and they see this Black person walking in, and they look at the name tag and they see Mohammed, and then you hear kids saying Salaam alaikum. I mean, that to me is exposing our kids to globalization in so many ways.
That's time.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mohammed. My name is David Jones. I'm a board member of the East Liberty Park Community Organization. Second question is, while nearly half of the K through 12 student population resides west of the I-15 corridor. There are no high schools located west of the I-15 corridor. Please talk about the challenges this creates for the district and for the student population, and whether you support the addition of a fourth comprehensive high school west of I-15 in the Salt Lake School District, and why or why not.
Okay. Oh, I am a firm believer in having a school within a community. Why? Because the presence of the community near their school, they actually have a better way of managing it. Now, we do have over 1,600 students that get bused from west all the way over here to the east side. And that actually is so not cost effective emotionally nor mentally, and it's not cost effective even for the district. And so for me, I am a firm believer in wanting to have a school on the west side. Why? We talk about equity. We talk about the importance of teaching every child, no matter who they are, where they came from. And for us to be able to accomplish that, we must have a school on the west side. And the reason I am so pro that is because, again, the kids, when they come over here, like at our high school, East High School, you do see, different pockets of students. There is not that unity. You see, African Americans together, Hispanics together, Polynesians together, but there is not that relationship. Why? Because they do not feel that they are in their community. Now, the challenge for finding a school there is finding a land. And we went ahead and we had people go and survey every property of school that we have closed. And unfortunately, for us to have a comprehensive high school, we do not have enough acreage for that to happen. Now, there has been ideas that came to us about trading. I'll give you this property, you give me that, And we worked with the city to make sure if there is possible that we can use the property there. Even the property near Riley Elementary, that one is already, placed. It'll be used by the liquor company. And so this is what I'm looking at. It's like there is a challenge of land is what's making it so hard for us. However, my hope is as I continue to stay in the board, we'll continue to work with our mayor here in Mendenhall and with the city council and also the community and see what can be done to actually make that happen. I mean, I suggested so many other options, like
That's time.
schools. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mohamed. My name's Amy J. Hawkins, and I have the pleasure of serving as the chair of the Ballpark Community Council and ran a similar interview with you back in 2020.
Yes.
I also teach at the University of Utah School of Medicine, and in addition to my PhD in human genetics, I have training. I did a 4-year fellowship in science education.
That's
pretty
fantastic.
committed. My question is, please talk about your thoughts on the bond to rebuild Highland High School and West High School. Are you supportive of the bond? Why would residents want to give the school district $750 million with no concrete plan, declining enrollment, and a seeming lack of adaptive direction as we move into the future?
Okay. Well, personally, as a resident of Salt Lake City, I do see increase of cost in everything. We used to go to Costco and, come out with $200 cart. Now it has to be, twice that. And the sad reality, it is the nature of the market out there. $750 million, that is a lot of money. And it's easy to sit here and just talk about, I am asking everyone in the community, please, we want you to vote for that. That is extremely important that we do that bond. Last time we did the bond was in 1999. And every school building or new district building, the money we actually got it from within the capital that we had. And here we have these two amazing high schools. West High School 1921, when it was built. We have spent so much money in patching that building. It reminded me like when I was in Navy. We have ship with rust, we paint over it. And then it gets rusted, we paint over it again. And then eventually we will sink that ship. And that's what we will do to those two schools if we keep them at the current status. And also, those two buildings, they're averaging anywhere from $4 to $5 million of maintenance. And sometimes they are even more than that. The city is growing. And we want to make sure that we attract the population. So as the city, as our student population is decreasing, we have an amazing opportunity to bring students from the other district. Why? Because we will have a state-of-the-art schools. We want those kids to feel when they walk into that building, they feel great. I mean, like even at West High School, the walls, Wi-Fi cannot go through the walls. Galvanized piping is a whole other thing. I mean, just to fix those things, it is impossible. And here we have the infestation of bats at Highland. What an amazing experience. I mean, just so many things. And the smart thing to do right now is I beg of the community to help us bond for that amount because we really need it. And we want to make sure that these schools represent the growth of our city and its beauty.
That's time.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mohamed. The next question is, do you believe the declining enrollment in the district is an inevitable result of shifting population within Salt Lake City, or has the district pushed in-boundary students out? And if so, what changes can be made to bring students who have left back and to make district schools attractive to future students and future growth?
Okay. It is a rough reality as we notice that our student population has decreased by 29%. And that is a lot of students. That is a lot of students, yes, we lost. And also we do have a new population coming into the city who are not ready to have any kids yet. And I talked with Aaron. I was like, can we give something in the water to help him like expedite the process? We need kids in this city. It is a challenge in the because of just like the given reality of what we have. However, we were able to get some information from the city. We were able to get the information from the county. Nevertheless, those numbers are missing certain things in there. There are some neighborhoods where they have people who just moved in and they have kids. There are some neighborhoods where there is like a new baby is being born. And we are we are here in Utah. So the decline in enrollment is a phenomenon that we did not expect to happen. But given the current situation of gentrifications of the neighborhood, it is making it very hard and more expensive for families to afford. And as a result, most of them, they go ahead and move out of the city. And when they move out of the city, of course, they're going to move schools. Now, how can we attract more students over here? We can, first, with building good high schools that our kids will feel, those kids will feel like, oh, they have amazing field, and things like that. Two, also making sure that we have some amazing programs like CTE, career, technical education. We have so many kids out there who do not like to look at a book, but they will come and be able to use their skills and earn a certificate and be ready to embrace the world. This is not just building students to be laborers or any of that. No, this is actually preparing the future. We all know how much it costs us to have a plumber come and fix something. Now imagine if those students have those opportunities, they will be able to do whatever they want to. And they can still sometimes, those companies will actually pay for them if they want to go to college. And we owe it to the district that is more than 60% minorities. And the majority of them are immigrants. And as an immigrant, we love doing things with our hands. And we need to give that opportunity to those kids. I believe that's going to help bring more students to our district.
That's time.
Thanks, Mohammed. This follows up a little bit on the previous question. What could be done to encourage out-of-boundary students to enroll in elementary, middle, and high schools in the Salt Lake School District? And would you be supportive of such efforts? And if so, how would you implement such efforts?
Okay. It is a current battle between private schools and the voucher and the public schools. It is, it's disheartening when I hear families, for example, say that public schools are not performing well. And in my opinion, for that period of time that I have been in this seat, the amount of work and the commitment of everyone in the district, and especially led by the current superintendent, to make sure that these kids are doing extremely well, it is far beyond explanation. And when families also, say that schools are aging, and so it is a reality of what we have. Now, in terms of how we can bring students from other districts to ours, well, having good teachers and having innovative programs, having childcare available for our teachers, making sure that the number of instructional hours are really spent in teaching rather than just, administrative responsibilities that the teachers have to do. And also encouraging those families when we have different programs. As I just talked about the CTE program, families who believe in the importance of technical training, or trade school, they'll be able to bring their kids over here. And also working with the city in finding ways to make real affordable homes for families who cannot afford to live in the city. When I say affordable, not just affordable for like a year or year and a half and then skyrocket the prices. No, affordable to those families so that they can feel actually they can afford to be in this city. And so when they do that, their kids are going to be coming with them as well. So we need to slow down the gentrification. We want our city to grow. We want it to stay beautiful, but we should not forget about other families because they are the source and meat bone of the city. And we need to continue to give them that opportunity of living here and have their kids go to these amazing schools that is far beyond explanation.
That's time.
Thanks, Mohammed.
Thank you.
Which community groups or organizations do you have experience working with? What's your approach to community partnership? Could you talk about how you see your role as a member of the Salt Lake City School Board, but also as a larger community advocate? How would you work with District 5 community councils and Salt Lake City and solving problems?
Okay. In regards to which communities that I work with, uh, there are, yeah, I'm trying to think of a list in the communities that I've been working with, but we'll start with the leadership of Black communities here in Salt Lake City and the amazing work that they are trying to do to make sure that their kids continue to perform in our schools. It is so fantastic. I believe in the importance of building that bridge between the external organizations or third-party organizations and our schools. Yes, we have smart people in our district, but we do need to forge and build that relationship. We should work with those organizations so we can make sure that we continue actually to bring their ideas and our ideas for the sake of our children in our district. That is very important. In terms of working with the city councils, just give you an example. Darren Mano has been great to work with. I mean, I set a time with him so we can sit down and actually figure out the safety around our schools in terms of traffic lights and the flashing lights that we need for people for people, when they are crossing major streets. And because of that, every street that is around our schools, the majority of them have flashing cross lights, just for the sake of a safety. Sitting down with them and just saying, hey, this is a problem. We cannot wait until a kid is hurt or dead, because then we can go ahead and take action. You see around Emerson, the crossing traffic light in there. You see around Hawthorne, the crossing lights on that side. Also on this side of Emerson, they added like a line in the center with little signs so we can get actually the attention of the drivers. We see like around other school, Liberty schools. We made sure that the traffic in there is actually functioning better between the 1700 and the crossing street. That way we're not going to have congestion of the traffic. And when we worked with them also about 1700 and 700, those two streets, when we used to have people coming in to go to Hawthorne, there used to be a congestion in that street. Working with the city traffic and being able actually to balance the amount of time it'll take for vehicles to cross. So we're not going to have congestions near schools. So this is the important part about safety for me. So.
Thanks, Mohammed. On the next question, what's your understanding of the current projected use of the newly vacant Hawthorne and other potentially new vacant buildings in District 5 over the next 4 years with the school closures that just occurred?
First of all, let me correct a rumor that is going out there. And that is, we are going to sell those schools to developers, and there's going to be a housing in there. And let me promise the community, as long as I'm sitting in that seat, there's never going to be a support. And I'll make sure to get the community out with that after anything that has to do with any developers or so in those schools. Those are families' properties. That's a community property. Millions of dollars of taxes went onto those buildings. So right now, what is going to happen with those closed buildings? Well, there is no plan yet. Have we talked about it yet? No, we have not. However, we have given direction to the superintendent so that they can go ahead and start thinking outside the box so we can figure out what we're going to do with those buildings. We promised the community that those buildings are not going to stay just vacant. As a result of that, the district has employees in there from 8 to 5 every single day of the week, 5 days. And We promise also that the space is going to continue to be cleaned. The grass and everything is always trimmed. I go and walk in those schools to make sure that the space is well taken care of. My hope is that if it were me, I'd like to see a community center in there where everyone is benefiting. I'd like to see a green space in there where everyone is going to be benefiting. So that's what it is. That's what we need to make sure that those buildings, will stay there. They are our district. And I am not in any way whatsoever going to sign off or agree. I will have the community again stand up and riot against any developers if they decided to get that. But please rest assured, we are not giving those buildings to any developers, and there is no discussion that it's happening. And one thing to make sure, please, if you are in that neighborhood, keep an eye on those schools. Here is my cell phone number, 801-358-0254. You see something that concerns you, please call me. And I promise you, I'll make sure that it's taken care of. Because my promise is my promise. And I'm going to make sure that I keep that. Yeah.
That's time.
Mohammed, what do you see as the unique issues for our area? And how would you serve as an advocate specifically for District 5?
It's interesting. We lived in Hawaii when I was in the Navy, and we never thought we would come and settle here in Salt Lake City. And since 2011, it has been but an amazing experience. Amazing experience in terms of like feeling that I belong in this city. My kids who are Black, they feel that they belong in this city. And one of our unique challenges right now that we are dealing with is, of course, the gentrifications of the neighborhood that is affecting our minority families, that is actually affecting the diversity of our city. Now, yes, we do see like a lot more Black people. I see a lot more coffee beans, in cup of yogurt out there, and that makes me happy. We see so many small businesses out there that are like being built, but it is still very important that we find a way to make for the city to find a way that we make sure those schools are continue to be populated by students from all walks of life. And another unique challenge is the homelessness. I mean, our district, we do have students, sadly to say, who are homeless. And that should not be happening here. Nevertheless, that's a whole complicated issue that is controlled by the legislators, and the city can only do much. But around our schools, we make sure the kids are feeling safe. Safety, safety, safety. And that to me, it is utmost importance when it comes to like rebuilding our schools, making sure we have diverse families here, making sure that the city continues actually to grow so we can have more, so families will be able to bring their kids or even their grandkids or so. So it is the cost of living in the city has made it very hard. And that everyone is feeling that pinch. It is not fun. But we make sure our school continues to focus on those kids, regardless of the cost. And this is one of the reasons why, again, I'm going to push for voting for that bond, because we do need it for the sake of our kid, so we can have more kids. We can beat the system that is making it impossible for those kids to live in the city. And I know we can do that for sure. And do I have a little?
That's actually time. Yeah, thank you.
Okay.
All right, thanks. How would you improve the working relationship between the board and the district employees to retain effective teachers? And most importantly, build the relationship with the superintendent?
Yeah, thank you for that question. Every year we go to a National School Board Association training. And in there are multiple trainings that just talks about establishing the relationship between the board and the superintendent. Here is my take on this. Us as a board members, our responsibility is making sure the superintendent and the business administrator are actually managing our district well. Now, what goes below that in terms of the employees, that's a human resources issue. And we should not, in any way whatsoever, meddle in anything that has to do with the employment of an employee. We hire the superintendent so we can make sure that as a CEO of our district, she will take care of all of that. Whereas for us as board members, our job actually is to be out there in the community, to walk amongst our schools, talk to our families, be there with our families, go to events, have people know who you are and what you are doing there. And while you are there, take notes, because I am a firm believer that I could sit in there and try to come up with policies and all of that. I am not an expert, but one thing I do know for sure, the source of any information, of any policy, or of any decision should and must come from the community. Should and must come from the community. And if we are looking into like future closures of school, I will damn sure make sure that this time we do have actually involvement of the community from A to Z of the process. I will make sure that when those schools, we decide what to do with them, that the community is absolutely involved in every step of this process. You know, the relationship between our superintendent right now, we have an amazing superintendent. She is so well-rounded. She knows people. Her relationship with the city, her relationship with legislators. That to me, bringing such a superintendent to the field is a rich engine that will continue to help our district to move in the right direction.
That's time.
All right, and to wrap up with one final question, right? Tell us about your background and your experience and platform, things that you just want to bring up that maybe you didn't get a chance to mention earlier during this interview that you'd like to emphasize for the residents of Salt Lake City District 5.
Look, everyone, okay? I am not a teacher. I'm not a professor, but I'm a father. I am a resident of the city. I am an immigrant who came from nothing and built my way up. And as a result of that, a couple of years ago, I saw the American dream came to reality when I saw my oldest daughter stand and receive her high school diploma. That to me, the fact that my father took his nice watch and $400 that he had in his account and his nice shoes to make sure that I get a good education, now seeing my kids succeeding is to me the true American dream. And I owe that to every single child in our community. In 2020, I had two choices. I could sit back and complain, but I decided to move forward and bring something different. And for the past 4 years, I promised my community that I'll always be the voice for the voiceless. I promised them that I will never allow anything that deals that sexism, anti-LGBTQ, racism, you name it. The board knows where I stand. I am loud. I'm not afraid to go and speak the truth. I want the community to know that. They are continue. I'm hoping you will give me the chance to continue on that process, because as our city is diversifying and as our schools are like shrinking, I want to make sure that there is also equity when it comes to like this future school closures. I do not, and I will not support in any way whatsoever to have another school on the west side of 1300 be closed. We should not be having this haves and has not schools. We have to have a certain balance to take place. That's to me, because those children, they are the future of this country. We are getting old. We are giving them a torch so that they continue to carry on actually on the American dream, to bring peace to this earth, to actually make us proud to be Americans. I am, I'm a veteran, and I can only understand the price of freedom is not cheap. It is not cheap, my friends. But I know with our kids, they are the investment that we have, and we owe it to each one of them. We owe it to each one of them. Otherwise, it's not going to be happy news comes the future. But we do need it. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Mohamed, for joining us tonight and sharing your platform with us here at ELPCO and Amy's district, community council, and the other community councils in the district. Appreciate you being on and sharing your platform and what's important to you and you as a candidate. Again, we extend that invitation to continue to collaborate with the community organizations, and really that's our job. We're all volunteers in this role in community councils and organizations, and to cooperate with the city and collaborate and provide a platform for you to share information and to our residents, and for residents to give feedback up to you. So as people who watch this video, definitely invite you to provide feedback to ELPCO and to the candidates here that shared their message, and to engage with them. That's really ELPCO's and other community councils' role, is to foster that engagement and provide a conduit between residents and city leaders, and hope that this opportunity and interviews like it accomplish just that. And so, again, thank you so much for taking the time to participate with us and to extend yourself and put yourself out there, and your willingness to serve the community as on the school board. So,
yeah, thank you so much, everyone, for giving me this chance as well, and for organizing this. And please, again, my cell phone number is 801-358-0254. Text, call, whatever, and I'll make sure that you are taken care of and your family is taken care of with any concerns.
Thank you, Mohamed. One thing that I forgot to mention, that I did mention in the other interviews, is this collaboration that we have among District 5 community councils is actually a true collaboration between the folks behind the scenes. And unfortunately tonight, we couldn't get any representatives from Central 9th or Liberty Wells, only just because of conflict of time. But they were instrumental in also presenting the questions, and we all mulled over questions together and things like that. And that these videos will be presented on all of our platforms for all of District 5, social media, and our YouTube channels. So thank you, Mohamed, for being here tonight. And I'm going to officially close this meeting.
Thank you.